Hey friends, Emily from Handmade with Love here. I hope that you guys are all having a wonderful day. In today's video, I am making a tag flip using the Dear Lizzy She's Magic collection, and I just thought I would come on and show you how I make this and just kind of go over the process of decorating each tag. So on the first one, I do have a shaker tag. And here I'm just showing you this little handmade embellishment that was sent to me by Tennille, and I'm going to find a way to incorporate that in this little tag flip because I think that it is so cute. So for the first one, like I said, it's a shaker tag, and I'm not sure what vellum this collection is from, but yeah, I'm just kind of using some tickets and some layering pieces on the background, and I pulled out a paper clip because I realized I didn't want to glue anything down onto the actual tag, so that way if she wants to reuse it then she totally can. All she has to do is just take off the paper clip. So I'm stapling those together just because it's a little bit easier to adhere that way once I have everything figured out where I want it to go. And I wanted to put this teacup on top, but as you can see, the ticket behind it was the exact same color. So I just went and grabbed a label from the sticker sheet so that way it would kind of stand out a little bit more. And I added some foam tape to that so that it would pop off and be a little bit more dimensional. I'm also adding one of these gold bows that I grabbed from Tuesday morning, and then some enamel dots. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this first tag. All of them are quite simple, and the main reason for that is because I really didn't have too much left from this collection to work with. I never picked up the chipboard or anything, so all I had was the ephemera, the stickers, and then the puffy stickers. And then, like I said, I did try to pull some stuff from my stash, but yeah, I was just very limited. And you'll see me reaching for some wood veneers here and there on some of the tags, and that is because I am trying to get myself to use up this little bag that I found in my stash. I really don't use a lot of wood pieces or wood veneers in my crafting, so just trying to work through this little bit that I had left. I think these were actually sent to me by someone, I'm not sure, but they do look really cute with the collection. It's just that it's not something that I would normally reach for just because I forget they're there all the time. So on this next one, I really like this little pink guest check, but it was a little bit too big for the tag that I was working on, so I just cut it in half, and I end up using the other half on another tag so it doesn't get wasted, which is great. And it's kind of funny, I actually reached for this little bathing suit one piece, and I was thinking to myself whenever I saw it that I would never actually use it because I don't know how to incorporate that, but it ended up being a really good layering piece for this tag. So I think that even if you feel like you're not going to reach for something in particular, just try it out on a few different things and you might find somewhere where it actually looks really good. So to complete this one, I just added a flower that was sent to me by Angela. It matched a lot of the colors in the collection, so I added that to the side, and then from the sticker sheet I just pulled in a few little hearts. I'm also going to go back in with some more of the same enamel dots. I use the same color enamel dots for this whole entire tag flip, which are from Hobby Lobby in case you're wondering. And I wanted to find a way to incorporate some sort of trim or ribbon onto this tag, but because I had already layered everything on, there wasn't really a way for me to do that. But I did find this really thin ribbon with my trims, and I think this is from Dollar Tree or Walmart. But it's really thin, light purple ribbon, and I hardly ever use it, so I decided why not just go ahead and give it a try. And once I tied it into a bow and added it on, I actually thought it looked really cute and was just a really delicate touch. So yeah, that was one of the last things that I did. I'm also reaching for another wood veneer piece, and I go for this one that has a little popsicle on it, which is really cute. I feel like it fits pretty well because this collection is quite summery and springtime, so the wood veneer pieces really did match a lot of the pieces that I was using. So that's what it looks like once it is complete, and I think it turned out really pretty. That's one of my favorite ones. And so on this next one, I'm using that embellishment that was sent to me by Tennille. I was having a little bit of trouble finding a place to use it because it was very chunky. So what I did was just pull off that top chipboard piece that she had on there. And I was really happy because it didn't mess up anything underneath, and I'm able to use the chipboard on another tag, so you'll see that later. But once I added that piece on, it was pretty much done. So I just added some enamel dots to make sure that it matched the rest of the the other tags in the tag flip. And now I'm moving on to my next one. So I decided to incorporate a little acetate tag, which I thought was really cool because I don't normally do that. I do a lot of vellum and like tool shakers, but never just plain acetate. So I thought I would give it a try, and I do think it looked really cute. So here I'm using the other half of that guest check that I used on the second tag, and I'm just layering up some stickers on it. At this point, you can see I really don't have too much ephemera left over in the top corners, so just trying to use up what I do have. So I layered up that tag sticker and the chipboard pieces from that last embellishment, and I felt like it needed something else behind it. So I had one of these little paper ruffles on my desk from a video that I filmed recently that you guys will see soon. But yeah, I just had an extra one left, so even though it didn't match the paper completely, I still thought it was really cute and added something nice. So I just hot glued that behind it, and then I did have to add some foam tape behind the rest of the embellishment so that way it was all on the same level. And I'm trying to add some more wood veneer, so I go for this little heart. I grab this bird from the ephemera and glue that onto the side, and then I just go in with a few more little enamel dots as well as some hearts from the sticker sheet. And I feel like this one turned out really cute. I like that I didn't cover the whole entire tag, so you can still kind of see through it whenever it's in the actual tag flip, which I think is a cool touch. Yeah, like I said, I've never really incorporated acetate into my tag flips, but I'm definitely going to do it more often because I think it's kind of a cool element whenever you can see behind it. So that's how this one turned out. And the next one that we're doing is the light pink one with lace at the bottom. I prep a lot of my tags in advance, so I just kind of look through my trims and see if I have any that will fit. So that's why you'll see that a lot of these do already have trim on them. Yeah, it just kind of makes the process easier for decorating it if I already have the trim on and everything else, so that way I don't have to add it last minute. And I like to do all my sewing in like one go as well, so it's just a lot easier that way. Anyways, on this tag, I just started pulling out some of the larger ephemera that I had left, so I just used this little checklist as well as the ticket. And then from the sticker sheet, I grabbed the postage stamp as well as this little tea container, which is really cute. I feel like all of the colors were really soft, so it worked well together. And I've never done this before, but instead of using gold thread to layer behind the sticker, I actually used white thread, and I think it turned out really cute. Actually, I'm probably going to do it again in the future just because it adds like a really soft look, and yeah, it's just really pretty. It's not as overwhelming and in your face as like pink or gold thread. So yeah, definitely like the white. I'm going to need to pick up some more soon. But to finish this off, I'm adding that tea container on after adding the thread. I add a little sticker at the bottom as well as this wood veneer. And I'm grabbing this flower, which last minute I kind of decided to put on there because it's really cute and matches. So I think that was everything aside from the enamel dots. So I'm just adding those now. And I don't know if you guys do this, but I always add my enamel dots in pairs. I can never just do like one on the tag. I always do like either 2 or 3. So yeah, and then I'm just adding this little button, and this button container is from Hobby Lobby. I talk about this all the time, but it's a ginormous container with a ton of different colors from the Paper Studio. So the next time they have their half off sale, you guys should definitely go pick this up. I think it's about $3 or $4 whenever they're having the sale. So yeah, and I'm moving on to the next tag now, which is really cute colors. And I didn't cut this one out too much. Sometimes whenever I'm layering, I'll just cut out the process to make it less boring to watch, because I know that sometimes it can get very repetitive. But yeah, I just left the process of this one in here so that way you can see just how quick everything was kind of coming together. So what I did was just grab some of the larger ephemera that I had left, which was that little speaker and the ticket, and then I chose a focal piece, which in this situation was the camera, and then just added a few smaller pieces around it to kind of tie everything together. And also, I think I've done this maybe once or twice before, but putting the little gem on the camera lens is so cute, and I got that idea from Maddie, who is Snail Mail Maddie, and Cheryl. They both have YouTubes and Instagram, so if I can remember, I'll link them down below. But I watch some of their videos, and I see them do that all the time, and it's just such a cute little touch. So I decided to do that on this little camera ephemera piece. And it turned out cute because the enamel dot was like super sparkly. and eye-catching. So now I'm just adding on that little wood veneer piece and the gem, and I think this one turned out really cute. I was running out of sentiments. I was running out of a lot of stuff, but I didn't have anything to put at the bottom, so I had the poolside chipboard out on my desk, so I just grabbed some random sentiments from that one. I think it says like sitting poolside or something like that. So it doesn't really have to do with anything on there, but it just kind of filled in some blank space, and I like how it looked with the little washi tape layered on underneath it. So that's how this one looked, and I think I just added a puffy sticker and some hearts to complete it. And now we're moving on to the last two. So the next one is technically the shaker tag, but I always get really intimidated whenever I start to work on shaker tags because I never know what to do. So I just decided to go ahead and do this one first since it was going to be easier to work with. And at this point I only had just a few pieces of the ephemera left, so I grabbed this little radio and this bird, which I believe is the very last of the ephemera. And I'm just trying to find a way to layer it in with these stickers that I pulled out. And I'm also looking for a button. I wanted to go for a purple one, but some of the colors in there were just kind of odd. So I ended up going for this really light colored lavender one, and I think that one looks cute. I also pulled out some pom-poms that I'm going to be adding here and there. I'll do that more at the end once I know the placement of everything. I'm reaching for the white thread again, just so that way I can make sure everything is kind of cohesive, and just repeating the same steps that I did on the last one, just folding it over and then rolling it around and adding it to the back of the foam tape. So after I get that down, I'm just going to hot glue it on top of the postage stamp and the other stuff. I'm also going to add some foam tape to the little radio as well, just so that way everything is very dimensional on this last one. And the little piece of paper that you just saw was the ruffle that I cut off of one of the last tags. So I didn't want to waste any of that, so I'm just reusing it again on this one. It does kind of hang off the side a little bit, but I don't mind that. I think it actually looks really cute once everything is on the actual tag flip. So like I mentioned before, I'm just adding some foam tape to the back of that radio piece to give it a little bit more dimension, and then I'm going to hot glue the bird on, just because whenever you add thread to the back of foam, a lot of it can get covered, so just make sure it's secure. I'm going to use some hot glue. And then I also found this gem. Some of the smaller ephemera pieces always kind of find their way around my desk, so I had that and I thought it actually matched the colors quite well, so I ended up just adding it to the side. I'm starting to hot glue the button as well as the pom-poms down now. You can see I did reach for that wood veneer piece because it's my last one and I was like super excited, but I just couldn't get over the saying on it. It says my list, and I just feel like that's kind of odd to put on there. It doesn't really match or go with the theme or anything, so I just decided to skip out on that, and I can live with throwing away one piece of wood veneer out of many. So yeah, I was super excited to have gone through so much of the wood pieces that I've been just kind of hanging on to in my stash. But yeah, this is how that one turned out. I did have to cut that sentiment down a little bit to fit on the edge, and it turned out really cute. I just added some enamel dots to finish it. And now I'm finally moving on to the shaker tag, which is always the hardest one for me to do. This is actually a tulle shaker, so the front cover was a vellum shaker, and then this one is tulle. So these ones are a little bit tricky because I always use hot glue on my tags, but on these ones you can't really use hot glue because it's just going to seep through and make a huge clump of sequins, and they're not going to really be able to shake anymore. So I have to try to be careful about where I glue things down. So you can see here, I'm just starting by layering up a bunch of random pieces, and I was super out of things to work with at this point. I was just pulling pretty much from the stickers and trying to use a bunch of foam to make it look different. I did have this random scrap piece of paper, and it kind of gave me an idea to wrap this piece of paper around the center of the tag, so that way I can just glue the back of the paper to the back of the tag, and it will prevent any of the sequins from sticking together, and it will still be able to move around. So that's what I ended up doing, and I'm just kind of measuring out by eyeballing it. I'm not doing anything super precise, so just tore off the sides on that and then folded it over. And since I had already worked on that little cluster, I just stuck that right in the middle. And I tried to add this little, you're going to see in just a second, I go for these little tags here, but because I didn't make the paper large enough. It just kind of looked weird wherever I tried to put it. So I just stuck with what I already had for the cluster and kept it really simple. I did go in with a few little pom-poms to complete it, and then I think I added a few more enamel dots. But yeah, I've never really tried this for a shaker tag, but I think that I will definitely do this more in the future because it makes it a lot easier to manage and glue everything down. I'm not worried about like burning myself because of all of the tulle and stuff. So that is a good tip if you are looking for a way to make your shaker tags look cute. So here I am now, this is my somewhat version of a tag flip. I ended up switching out the binding ring here, so I didn't want to take forever by going and trying to find that in the middle of this, so I'm just showing you as I'm putting them on the smaller one. But yes, it ended up a lot more chunky than I had wanted it to be, so I had to get a really big binding ring for it. But that is everything for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching and will stick around to see my next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye.